guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that's not so traditional as usual, but I wanted to talk about this because it was something that has been on my mind for a little bit. A lot of my friends are pregnant or having a baby, and I wanted to talk about like how it feels to not be pregnant in this day and age, or not be pregnant in your 20s, because this is a time where everybody's getting pregnant. It may not be intentional, but everybody just happened to having a baby, and there's a small part of me that I feel not left out, in the sense where like I don't want the responsibilities of being a mom, but I do feel sometimes that, man, like, how does it feel to be a mom? How does it feel to have someone that looks up to you, someone to take care of, someone to dress up, someone to feed, someone to put as your first responsibility before yourself? How does it feel to, you know, just be a mom, like, overall? And like, those are things that I'm curious about. And I know it's not like the traditional way of thinking, because of course in your 20s you're supposed to have like fun, you're supposed to go out with your friends, you're supposed to, this is your time to shine, this is your time to enjoy your life, because when you get into your 30s, that's when things start to kick in. But I do know it is very expensive to maintain yourself. I struggle with that. I mean, it's real hard, especially when you're 20s, you're working a part-time or full-time job. You're still trying to find yourself as well. So there's a lot of things that goes into it, which will make it a little bit more complicated. But I do commend all the mothers out there, all my friends that are having babies or had babies. I really commend you guys, because I remember a couple weeks ago I had posted on Facebook, and I was like, everybody got babies and I got bills, with a sad face. And I don't know if I offended anyone, but if you know me well, I didn't say it or post it to offend anyone. I just posted because I was really like, damn, like, I got all these bills. I'd rather have someone to hold and someone to take care of and all that. But I know there is a bad side to, or like the downside of having kids. I just recently watched a video with this girl, and she was talking about like how she's just so sad because she has a lot to do, a lot to maintain, a lot to take care of when it comes to her daughter. And she, you know, she's not sad that she became a mom. It's just the fact that I guess she wasn't prepared for everything that came with it, because, you know, becoming a mom, people do warn you, like, don't do it, use protection, you know, don't put yourself in that situation. But, you know, there is a glamorous side to it that people mostly see. Like, you see the fact that you're able to dress your kid up and go to different events and, you know, like, do fun things with your kids, you know. But there is a downside. Like, I had went to go visit one of my friends. She just became a mom, and I did vlog. Her name is Shaki. She does have a YouTube channel as well, so make sure to go check her out. I went to go visit her, and she just had a little boy, and she was telling me like she got to change him every 2 hours. You know, luckily he's one of those quiet babies, but you know, that is a lot of responsibility. It's a lot, especially like paying for food, buying food, changing diapers, buying diapers. I mean, everybody comes to baby showers and they buy clothes, but nobody buying Pampers. Like, that stuff is really expensive. So I can only imagine how much it can take a toll on you, especially the fact that during this time you're struggling with a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I struggle with mentally, and I'm trying to combat and trying to like live an everyday life and trying to, you know, be able to balance out real life situations and being able to, you know, substitute it for fun activities that I could try to wrap my head around, so I won't be so drawn into all the bad things that comes with life and being a responsible adult. It can be overwhelming when you have to deal with a baby, because you have to set you have to set an example for the child as well. You can't sit there and think about yourself. You know, you got to snap yourself out of a lot of things. I have one of my best friends is pregnant. Well, two of them actually is pregnant right now, and one of them, she's going through one thing and another one's going through something else. And I don't want to talk about it too much, because I do want to do a video on how it feels to be pregnant, because this video is how it feels not to be pregnant. But they're both going through something that I don't know if I'll be able to deal with while being pregnant. It's just like, man, like, how do you do it? How do you hold yourself together and still go on with being strong and not thinking about what's gonna happen next? You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious as to know what's gonna happen next when I'm going through situations myself, much less to be able to hold all that in, because you don't want to stress and put the stress on the baby. So I know it could be so hard, but at the same time, I just really commend all the mothers out there, mothers to be mothers, because man, like there's a lot of things that I would not be able to stop. Not that I wouldn't, but there's a lot of things that I wouldn't want to stop, because I'm still in my selfish years where I want to be able to have fun and not think about, man, like what about my daughter, what about my son, you know, like there's just things that right now you just want to enjoy, and you don't want to like substitute, or you don't want to like sacrifice. I think that's the word I was looking for, because like this is your selfish years. And to the people that are not pregnant, that are thinking the same things as me, because you know, like we all go through that phase where we see baby pictures on Facebook or Instagram and we're like, oh my god, like I wish I had a child. But it comes with a lot of stuff. Like it comes with a lot of stuff, and you have to be fully prepared for that. Some of us, we don't have the option, you know, things happen, you know, you get pregnant, you don't think abortion is the way to go, or you just don't want to go through all of that, because it does cause a lot of trauma on you. It may be a 1, 2, 3 thing, but down the line you're gonna be messed up. I'm telling you, it's something that it takes a while to blow over, just depending on how strong you are. So I don't recommend to do it, but if it's something where you end up being pregnant and it's not the time and place for the first time, then don't hesitate to make a rational decision for yourself, especially if you don't have the finances, especially if you don't have the help from family members, and especially the fact that you don't have the help from the father. If you don't have a responsible partner, then that's when abortion comes in hand. But I don't feel like abortion is something where you run to for every resort. Sometimes, even if you're in a situation like that, if it is the second, third, fourth time, you gotta stop making those like irresponsible decisions, and make sure you're in a right place where you can have a child. Because if you're gonna put yourself in a situation where you end up getting pregnant because you had unprotected sex, or you just happen to have sex and you know the condom broke, whatever the case is, and you know you're with someone, or you had sex with someone that is not someone that you ideally see yourself with, then you're just putting yourself in a lot of situations where it's not necessary to be in. I mean, like, you gotta realize that sex is a very important thing. Sex is not something to be taken for granted. It's not for fun. It's not something you do off impulse. Sex is something that should be passionate, should be something well thought out, and something that should be like premeditated. Not saying where you have to plan it out all throughout, but it should be with someone that you do connect with mentally, physically, emotionally, and not just, oh, because of lust, you see this person you just want to have sex with. Because in those cases, that's when STDs come in, that's when pregnancy comes in, and that's when you start to have lots of regrets. As opposed to, even if those situations happen with someone who you love, it will be a little bit more forgiving, just because you love this person and you see yourself with them down the line. Now, I'm not recommending your partner that you've been with for a long time happen to have an STD. That's something to question. You need to pull him up, like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? Other than that, you should definitely take the responsibility of being with someone that cares about you, that will be there for you and hold you down, if you happen to ever be in that type of situation. And that's something I've considered after being with my ex. I don't know, I didn't really speak about him because he's irrelevant, but just being with someone that you can trust. If you're in a situation where, man, like, okay, I'm pregnant, what do I do now? It should be something where you're with your partner and you guys are both taking the risk together, as opposed to you doing it by yourself. Because I see a lot of single mothers out here, and even though, you know, in today's society a lot of people aren't married when they have a child, but at least be with someone that is going to be able to take care of you, take care of the child, and take care of you guys physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially, which is one of the most important things. Financially and emotionally are the most important things to be taken care of in any relationship, especially when you're having a child. You need to make sure that your mental is right, you're sane, everything is going well. Everything is not going to go perfectly, but everything should be balanced. You need to make sure that you're with someone that can be able to balance that out, because if not, it's not only going to affect you, it's going to affect the baby as well. A lot of people feel like stress is something that only affects you. When you're pregnant, you are becoming a part of the child. The child is absorbing all of that energy. And I take that stuff really seriously. So for my friends that are going through it with depression or anything like that, anxiety or anything like that, just keep that in mind, that you have to try to take yourself out of that situation in order for you to have a healthy pregnancy and to not have any side effects or anything wrong with the child, because that can really mess you up. Just, you're gonna have a lot of regrets. As far as making the right decision for pregnancy, it just really depends on where you are at in life. Just throughout your 20s. In your 20s, you could be that person that is struggling with debt, or you could be that someone that's really responsible with their money. They're doing well, they're able to save, they're with someone that they love, and all that good stuff. And even if you're not with someone that you love, your money is right, your mental is right, then go right ahead, have your child. Don't ever allow what people have to say about having kids in your 20s hold you back from making the right decision. Because truthfully speaking, I'm not saying to have a baby, I'm not saying to have a baby just because, you know, you just want to have a child and blah blah blah. But if you are in a place where you're able to, sorry, I keep moving the camera. If you're in a place where you're able to take care of your child and to be able to take care of yourself, most importantly, and you're not in a situation where you have a baby father, let's just say that, if you're not in a situation where you have a baby father to help you, then don't stress that. Like, that's not something to stress. You're ready, put yourself in a situation, hold it down, and date after you have the child, and see if you find someone that will be able to help you and to be able to be a good father. Look at Kris Jenner. Like, all right, well, that didn't really turn out well, but just look at yourself. Be an example for yourself. If you see that, you know, the baby father is not someone that you ideally see yourself with, but you're able to financially hold yourself down, you got this, you right, you doing well for yourself, you in school, you're working, let's just have this baby and, you know, forget about the father. Because at the end of the day, you can't force a man to want to have a child with you if he's not an adult fully himself. I feel like a lot of people feel like once they turn 18, once they turn 21, they feel like they're so mature, they're able to do anything in this world, but when it comes to kids, they back out. And it kind of ties into separating a man from a child, or putting away childish things. Even my dad, as grown as he is, he wasn't able to handle the responsibility of managing or raising a full-on adult. Once I became an adult, he just kind of backed down, and he's in his 50s, about to be 60s. Like, my nigga, you fucking grown and you still can't take care of a child. So it doesn't really make a difference with age. It really makes a difference with the maturity level mentally. So if you're with someone that is hesitant on having a child and making the decision for you, then this is not the person that you want to be with. Because at the end of the day, you can have someone that's like, this is not the time, you know, like, we need to build together, we need to do this together. That's different. But if you just out here just, like, you know, being reckless, I'm not even gonna be like super graphic, but you out here being reckless, and then after you want to sit here and not take the responsibility that comes with it, then what's the point? If you have someone that is really cautious about not getting you pregnant, like always making sure they have a condom, always making sure, you know, because I'm not with the birth control thing. I just don't believe in birth control. I feel like if a woman is supposed to have a baby, naturally women are supposed to produce. We're reproducers. We give life, you know what I mean? So I feel like birth control is the devil. I feel like it's not something that we should promote. It is a lot. There's a lot that comes with it. They don't educate men on birth control. They don't let them know the side effects that we have to deal with just because of pregnancy. They don't understand that we gain weight, we eat, we get nauseous. We get all the side effects of pregnancy, but we just don't get pregnant. And it's really annoying that we have to deal with that just because of reckless behavior. Just use a condom and just keep it moving. You know what I mean? So I feel like if a guy does not see himself having a child with you, or see himself being a father figure to your child, then you don't need to be with that person. And you have to really take that into accountability. You guys, I feel like a lot of women, they want to be with men, and you know, everything is going great in a relationship, but like you get pregnant and then they just be gone, and I'm just like, you need to take that action, and you need to observe that, and not take that for granted, because they're showing their true colors. When a guy does stuff like that, they just leave women to have kids on their own. It's not something to blame them about, but also don't take that and feel bad for them because of their past. What I'm trying to say is, if a guy leaves a woman while she's pregnant, it's because that's what they've seen their dad do. They feel like running away from a situation is the best way. Their dad or their mom, wherever the case is. Their parents didn't set the example of being a responsible parent, so they don't know how to be a responsible parent. It's very rare when you see a guy come from a really broken home and they still set the example of being a responsible parent. But at the same time, it's like, when you see people like that, you just gotta do what you have to do, whether it's terminate, whether it's to terminate the child or to just nip it in the bud and do what you have to do for you and your child. And that's when you have to come to realization what's best for you, not for this person or that person, your family members, your uncle, your auntie, whoever the case is. You have to do what is best for you. Just being in your 20s, there's just a lot that happens, a lot of real life situations that do happen, and you have to really just be strong. This is one of the hardest parts of your life, where you feel like everything is happening, everything seems super glamorous, certain lifestyles seem super glamorous, and you feel like, man, like I want this. And that's how I feel about kids. Like, I'm like, I want kids, but you know what, because I'm not in a situation where I'm ready, I'm not ready financially, I'm not ready mentally, I'm somewhat there. I'm very nurturing. I feel like I would be a good mother, but just because I know my finances are not right, my mental is not going to be right throughout. I need to make sure everything is great, everything is set for me, and I'm with someone that is super nurturing, super attentive, super strong, very strong will, because I know I'm gonna be a super brat when I get pregnant. The person that I'm dating right now is an amazing person. He treats me very well, and that's another thing that you need to take into consideration. If a guy does not treat you well, if he cheats, if he talks to you crazy, if he's out here being a thought, then you need to let him go, because he's not going to love your child. I'm telling you, he's not going to treat the child like a queen or a king. He's not going to appreciate everything that comes with it, because they don't know what treating someone right is. They feel like doing the bare minimum. They feel like doing the bare minimum is love. That's not love. Buying things for people isn't love. Showering them in gifts isn't love. Love is being there for them at every soccer game, every ceremony, every accomplishment that they have, whether it's big or small. Just being there, being super supportive is love. You know what I mean? Being there for them through breakups, being there for them through fights. Kids go through tons of stuff, and if you're not there for me through everything, whether it's getting fired from my job, going through, my menstrual, if I'm going through something, you're not nurturing, then I don't feel like they will be a good parent. There's just a lot of things that comes with being a good parent that you have to really think things through. You have to think about everything that the person has done for you. And I'm not just saying buying things, it has nothing to do with anything. Just being a good lover overall, they will be a good parent. I see a good lover, someone that is very family oriented, things like that, will be a great parent to your child. And that's something that you have to take into consideration, just because you don't want to just have anyone be a baby father. Like, even though marriage is the ultimate goal, even though marriage is the ultimate goal, you have to make sure that your baby father is someone that's going to be the ultimate dad. Like, you want him to be the best dad ever. You want to make sure that that person is prepared for everything that comes. I want my baby father to be more excited for the pregnancy than me. I want him to be delighted. I want him to rub my belly 24/7, rub my feet 24/7. I just want that person to be like, oh my God, I can't believe my queen is having my little king or my little princess or my little prince. Like, I want you to be super ecstatic. I don't want no guy dreading over my pregnancy, making me feel like I made a big mistake. You know what I mean? So if you are not in a situation like that, and this is no shade to anyone, because there's a lot of things that comes with being pregnant. It's either people are going to be super excited or people are going to be super disappointed. And it doesn't have to be family members. It could just be anyone. It could be your best friend. It could be your baby father. It could be your auntie, your uncle, your mother, whoever. Everyone is not going to be happy for you. Everyone is not going to be, because there's people out there that just hate for no reason. And babies are a gift. Babies are a blessing. Don't ever think that it is a mistake. It is a mistake to have unprotected sex unless it's planned, unless you're in the right place. But it's not a mistake to have a child. I never look at children as a mistake. Just being irresponsible is the mistake. But the mistake is not the child. Don't ever look at the child as a mistake. Don't ever look at the child as a burden. Always embrace the fact that you have a gift from God that a lot of people aren't able to produce. Even though all women are made to produce, some women aren't able to produce, you know. So just take that and just love your child, embrace your child, make sure that you're the best mother and you are with the best father. Or if not, get your ass on Tinder and find you one, because guys out there, there's a lot of guys out there that do low-key love girls with babies. I don't know what it is, but don't ever feel like you're just worthless, you know. You're gonna find someone out there that is willing to be your baby daddy, and that's great. And hopefully they'll be able to be your husband, your hubby, your bae, whatever, you know. Don't ever feel like the world is ending because you're not with your baby father. But don't make the same mistakes with somebody else. I feel like a lot of people make the same mistakes. They have a baby with someone, that is not the right person for them, and then after they go on and have another baby with some ain't shit nigga again. Like, don't do that. Just try to be more responsible, because you don't want to bring your child around the wrong person, and the next thing you know, your child is exposed to what they think is love, and then they end up doing the same things as they grow up. You know what I mean? Make sure that once you have a child, be low-key. Don't bring your child, even if it's a baby, do not bring your child around anyone that you don't feel like this is real, this is someone that I want to be with, this is someone that I want to marry, and that person is reciprocating that same energy. Like, this is the person I want to be with, this is the person I want to marry, and they're treating you right. You know, because a lot of people, I see them bring their kids around everybody that they meet, and I'm just like, bro, like, relax. Like, you know, these babies can see. They're not blind. Their eyes may be chinky, but they're not blind. Like, make sure that you're not exposing your child to a lot of different things, and be mindful of that. So that was my little rant on how it feels to not be pregnant in your 20s. It may be a little, you know, it may be a little bit, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel left out, but sometimes I don't, because I know that there's a lot that comes with it, and there's a lot that I do want to accomplish before I have a child. So no shade to anyone that is having kids. I love you all. I commend you all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.